Hey, what's up, guys? It's Baba 200. It's been a minute, a long minute. Life's been wild, but behind the scenes, I've built something I'm really excited about, a custom high speed backtesting engine for futures trading. Stick around because I'm sharing the journey, the wins, the stumbles, and where this project is heading next. So, just to give a little background before we really get into it. Um, I'll be honest, for years, I skipped back testing and went straight to forward trading. Not the smartest move, but we learn by doing, right? So everything changed when I discovered Databento's 1 second feed. I grabbed 1 day of data, wrote a PowerShell script, and it crawled. So I ported the whole thing over to Python, which I'll actually show you on this screen. This is my backtesting script now. As you can see, it's about uh, 2,900 lines of code or so. Anyways, I ported the whole thing to Python, and boom, day scale test ran in minutes, right? And then the light bulb. Well, why not a week, a month, but running days sequentially was still slow. So I went async, multiple tests in parallel. And by doing that, my desktop topped out at maybe 10 concurrent runs. Good, but not enough for serious parameter sweeps. And you're probably like, okay, what's a parameter sweep? This is the parameter sweep. So in this backtest demo that I'm going to show you, these are the parameters that the backtest script reads, and you can think of each line in the table as a backtest, right? So what I'm going to be showing you today is a backtest where we're sweeping the profit target, right? From 5 points up to 40 points, right? The trade shouldn't exit. And so, long story short, doing sweeps, it shows you a lot. But going back to what I'm talking about is, it was good, but not good enough. So I had to scale with AWS, right? I had to enter the AWS rabbit hole. I spun up 192 core, 1 terabyte RAM beast, back test that took hours locally, basically finished in minutes by going to AWS, right? And what was the price tag of that? About $7 an hour. Powerful but pricey, right? So what was the solution? Spot instances. Same muscle, but up to 70% cheaper as long as you handle the interruption. So a spot instance, I'm sure some of you already know, it can just turn off, right? So I had to build an image that when I launch an instance, everything is ready to go. Um, so let's get into the backtest, and then we'll talk about the GUI and everything that's next, right? So this is the backtest script that I was telling you about. Just kind of going over it. I'm not going to explain every function, but you can kind of get the gist of it as I scroll through. Long story short, what is it that we want from a backtest? We want to take the 1 second data, backtest data, goes to a strategy. The strategy goes and gets executed, and we get the results, right? So then you're like, okay, well, what's the strategy? So for this demo, I'm just showing you a simple strategy that I was using for testing. And so, long story short, the strategy is if the bottom wick is greater than the top wick, and the bottom wick is greater than 3 points, and the body is greater than 0.25, and the candle's green, go long, and vice versa for the short, right? This is really simple. It was something cool that I found, and it makes money, but we'll get into that. So let me show you more on the AWS side. So what you can see here in this, I'm gonna make it bigger. In this green panel here, this is the system that I'm running on AWS. As you can see, it has 128 cores of CPU. So like that's a lot, right? And then its memory, I believe it has 1 terabyte. So you can see right now it's using 3 out of the 1. And so I'm gonna just demo for you a backtest, right? So remember, our backtest is we're doing. Actually, I can show you here. Hang on, it's probably better I show you on here. As you can see here, this is our backtest. We're gonna run 8, and so we're gonna, instead of doing this a year, usually I do a year. We're going to do it as a month, and the month we'll say is last month, right? And the year is 2025. So you will see how long it takes to run the back test. And I'm just going to shorten it just for the video. I don't want to keep you here for all of that. So we're going to do 4 back tests, 5 to 20 points profit target, right? It should be quick, but this will allow you to see how it utilizes the AWS system. So we'll run the back test, and you will see as it kicks off all the processes. These are the database files. So going into the back test a little bit, each back test has its own database, right? That when the sweep runs, when the sweep runs, they're all going asynchronously at the same time. So I, as a novice programmer, I was like, oh, why am I having so many collisions? I'm not getting the results. Oh, you have to literally have each one to be its own database. So you can see here, us doing the 4 sweep is not even maxing out all of the CPU here. Like you can see some are at 0, but a lot are moving at 100%. You can see the disk is getting utilized at about 3 to 5 megabytes a second, 7 right now. And it does its thing. So as the back tests finish, you will see them all finish. So the current data that I have for May is only 16 days. I need to update it and get my data up to June, but this is just the demo for you guys. So right now you can see all these Python processes that are running for the back test. So this is like for the entire sweep. And it's doing this thing. So, okay, so going into that, we run the back test, we run the sweep, and then we get our data. When we get our data, like how do we want to present it? Well, I'm going to show you that. But one cool feature that I have here, I'm going to show you, is that I also output everything to Discord, right? So in previous back tests, you can see once it's done, it goes to my Discord channel and basically test 1. You can see the P&L, you can see how many trades it was, you can see the net P&L, you can see the max drawdown, and you can see the fees, which I love the most. Oh no, I think we just got killed on AWS. So this is great. I can just show you how we can start up another Spot instance. So this is my Spot instance script. And if I just hit run on this, it will find me the best AWS instance and get the price for it, get the best price. So previously I had this one here. Excuse me. I had this one here, and we were only paying $1 an hour for it, for 128 vCPUs and a terabyte of RAM. So right now, it's looking to see which one of these it can get. And so once we get another machine, I'll reconnect, and then we'll run a quick test again so I can show you the results and I can show you the GUI. But yeah, AWS, I recommend it to anybody who has made their own like backtest script. You can basically customize the machine how you want it. It loads up. I have scripts that go off and just set up the machine to just be ready to run backtests and return results. So it's passing on these machines because there's no available capacity. But I believe when it gets to the C7A, we should get that one. So long story short, yeah, we have an AWS script, and this script basically does everything. Gets me the machine, gets me the best price, just everything. All right, so we have a machine. It's loaded up. It looks like we got one for $1.11, which is awesome. And now I can reconnect and get back to it. Replace. Let's try it again. Okay, why is it not working here? It's okay. There we go. All right, so we're back, which is nuts. So I'm just gonna quickly run that back test. Let me also copy over the original backtest that we were going to run, which was over here. 1 second. So yeah, so that's the one thing about Spot Instances. It can just stop on you, but if you have everything backed up and just like cloud ready, it doesn't really matter. Like you can rerun backtest. All right, so here's the test. I just need to copy it over locally. All right, so here's what we were doing, and I'm just gonna make it 3, just so we can run through this quickly. So now we gotta find the command to run the back test again. Sorry about this, guys, but at least you get to see live, like what the hell I spend my time with and doing, and this is what I do. It's nerdy, it's boring, it's cool, it's all of those things. All right, so I'm just gonna do a month. Month is 05 and year is 2025. Now let's run the script. So we're just going to do 3. We're going to try and breeze through this. So what I will show you in the meantime while this runs, because I'm not going to bore you with that, so I'm going to actually show you the GUI, and I will talk about it just for a second before I bring it over. So this is the GUI. I need to reload it. This is the GUI, and I just made a simple web GUI. Basically, it reads all the backtest files and then it renders trades like a Tradovate chart, candles, indicators, P&L, and it's all in one place. It's rough, but it works, and it gets every iteration it gets smoother. So I will show you some example data that it has, so you can see what it looks like. But I really want to show you our backtest. But long story short, you can see, I think this is the one that's running right now. You can see the trade, right? So here's a short. It was at 9:31, and we won with it, right? Here's another. Here's a short. It didn't hit the profit target. So remember, this was a back test on a 5-point profit target. So it will only take profit at that point. But yeah, so you can see the chart, right? Um, if I can find an older one that has other trades, it will show you. 1 second. Anyways, so yeah, so you can see here, you can click on the different trades, right? And you can see what was going on. You can see the entry volume. I also have all the JSON data. I save everything within the trade. So like I can just get down to specific points as to why something worked or why something didn't work. You know what I mean? And it's just really cool. This is more like how can I say? And our back test is starting to finish here. Let's see it. So they usually start finishing all at once. So remember, this is a month back test, and it's done in almost 3 minutes, which is pretty damn cool if you ask me. And then I can just show you the results and go back over the GUI. All right. So 94%. Come on, let's finish it out. Done. So this is the actual output from the back test that I push over to the GUI. So right now it's processing all the trades. And you can see the trade data. And so like for instance, this one strategy had 10 trades, total P&L for 37. And then it shows the longs, it shows the shorts, it shows everything. But this was getting too hard to read. You know what I mean? I would have to read all of this and go through all of this data. And like that doesn't make any sense. So that's exactly why I have this, which I now can show you the actual backtest data from the test that we ran. And you can see here from Discord, it shows you what ran on these tests. So these tests, it sucked, right? So we got negative 2987 for a $5 or 5-point profit target, negative 3800 for a 10 profit target, and negative 31k for a 15-point profit target. So you can kind of see from your switch what works and what doesn't work, which is really cool. All right, so now getting back to the GUI, you can see here all the trades. It shows you all the trades and when it took the trades. And now when I click on it, you can see it individually. You can see each trade, where the stop loss hit, or if the profit target hit. And it's just so damn cool. I love this. So like I can sort it by P&L, like, okay, what were the best performers? And then I can say what were the worst ones, right? And I just love that you can just go to the chart and see it. One thing I'm working on with this is, well, one, I'd be interested to see it live, right? So can you imagine you get to see your back test live and the candles move, um, and just see it just as if you were in the market. So I'm working on some tabs here. So we got the backtest builder. Basically, if I ran this, it would run the backtest, and I can input, what I want for it, right? And then strategies. Here you build cool strategies with AI. I haven't put this part in. So what's the future of this? Um, Basically, AI generated strategies is one of the first big goals. We're going to feed the engine a prompt. We're going to let the GPT propose parameter sets, auto backtest, and then score it. And then we can actually run that like an engine, and it can just refine itself, and it can refine the strategy, which would basically make me not have a job in trying to find the best strategies, right? And then it'll give some AI driven insights after a run. It will ask the model to explain why a setup failed or shined. Code integration is easy. Finding the time is the hard part for me. Like, I can do this, but I have a full time job. I got other cool projects that I'm working on. This is like not my main thing, but I've been working on it for so long that, how can I say, uh, I put so much time and effort into this thing, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. And long story short, this project taught me more about coding, logic, cloud computing, and perseverance than any class I could ever take. If you'd love early access or would want to contribute or just geek out about backtesting, drop a comment or DM me or hit me up on Discord. And if enough people are interested, I'll open source the whole stack so you can run your own crazy high speed sweeps. So thank you for watching. Lots of more new cool stuff ahead. Until then, trade smart and keep building.